From the flat farm country of southern Wisconsin, one shape breaks the horizon, a great flat-topped tower of pale rock standing alone above the fields like an island left behind by a vanished sea. Its sheer cliffs catch the morning light while the patchwork of farms spreads out far below. For miles the land rolls gently, and then, without warning, it rises into stone. Welcome to Gibraltar Rock. We are in south-central Wisconsin, just north of the small town of Lodi, and a short distance from the wide valley of the Wisconsin River. Here, the rolling farm country is broken by a single dramatic bluff, a state natural area whose clifftop looks out for miles across fields, woods, and water. Gibraltar Rock is a striking flat-topped bluff, a butte rising a couple of 100 feet straight out of the surrounding farmland. From a distance, its steep sides and level crown give it the look of a fortress, and it shares its name with the Great Rock of Gibraltar that guards the mouth of the Mediterranean. Here it guards nothing but the quiet fields, yet it commands them completely, the highest ground for miles around. At its foot lies Lodi, a small Wisconsin town set among creeks and low green hills. This is gentle, settled country, a landscape of dairy farms, red barns, and winding back roads, the kind of place where the land seems to have been tamed long ago. The bluff above it is a reminder that beneath the soft fields lies hard and ancient rock. Not far to the west runs the Wisconsin River, one of the great rivers of the upper Midwest, curving through a broad valley on its long journey south to the Mississippi. For thousands of years, this river was a highway through the region, and the high ground of Gibraltar Rock stands as a natural landmark above its valley, visible from far across the surrounding country. The trail climbs steadily up the wooded flank of the bluff, winding through oak and shade as the ground falls away behind. The air cools among the trees, and glimpses of open sky appear between the trunks. Then the slope eases, the forest thins, and the world suddenly opens as the clifftop comes into view before us. The rock underfoot is far older than the farmland it rises above. Gibraltar Rock is built of ancient sandstone, sand laid down grain by grain on the floor of a shallow sea that covered this land hundreds of millions of years ago. Over immense stretches of time, the sand hardened into stone, and the sea vanished, leaving these old layers to be lifted and slowly revealed. Why does this one tower stand while the land around it lies flat? The answer is in its crown. A cap of harder, more resistant rock sits atop the softer sandstone, sheltering the stone beneath from the rain and frost that wore everything else away. Like a stubborn lid, the flat cap protected its pedestal, and as the surrounding country slowly eroded down, this island of high ground was left standing above the lowlands. From the clifftop, the reward is a view that seems to reach forever. The land drops away in a sheer fall of rock, and beyond it, the whole of south-central Wisconsin spreads out in a vast, gentle panorama. Fields, woods, farmsteads, and the distant line of the river valley lie stitched together far below, softened by haze at the edges of sight. Directly beneath the cliffs lies a patchwork of farmland, green and gold squares of crop and pasture divided by hedgerows and country roads. From this height, the tractors are toys and the farmhouses are dots, and the ordered geometry of agriculture becomes a quilt laid across the rolling land. It is the classic face of the American Midwest, seen from a rare high place. The edge of Gibraltar Rock is no gentle slope, but a wall of bare sandstone dropping cleanly toward the treetops below. These sheer cliffs are the exposed face of the ancient rock, streaked and weathered, where swallows nest and hawks ride the updrafts rising off the warm stone. They give the bluff its dramatic profile and its fortress name. Below the cliffs, the slopes are clothed in oak, the tough, drought-hardy trees that thrive on these dry, rocky hillsides. Their gnarled branches and broad crowns cover the flanks of the bluff in green, and in autumn they turn the whole hillside to russet and bronze. The oak woods are old companions of this high ground, rooted in thin soil over solid rock. Among the oaks and along the sunlit crown survive small remnants of prairie, patches of native grass and wildflower that once covered vast stretches of this region before the plow. Little bluestem, coneflower, and other hardy plants cling to the thin, dry soil of the bluff, a living memory of the open grasslands that came before the farms below. Gibraltar Rock stands near the edge of a remarkable region known as the Driftless area, a corner of the upper Midwest that the great ice sheets somehow missed. While glaciers ground down and flattened the land all around, this rugged pocket was left untouched, its ancient bluffs and deep valleys never buried by the ice. The bluff belongs to this older, unglaciated world of exposed stone. For all its dramatic height, Gibraltar Rock is a quiet place. Few sounds reach the clifftop but wind in the oaks and the calls of birds carried up from the fields. It is a scenic overlook in the truest sense, a rare vantage where the eye and the mind can rest, taking in the sweep of the land and the slow passage of light and shadow across the countryside. As the trail winds back down the wooded slope, the great view folds away behind the trees, and the bluff returns to its long watch over the fields. An island of ancient stone above a sea of farmland, Gibraltar Rock has stood here since before there was anyone to name it, and it will stand long after. Thank you for watching. Follow for more interesting people, places, and things we cover on the channel.